So what's up everybody, Black Clover 333 translations are out, and this chapter was very interesting. The reason why I say this chapter is very interesting because we get a more insight as to who is Lucius. We see that he's actually has some depth to him, and it looks like some of the theories that I've been saying about the 𝚖𝚙𝚙𝚒 family tends to be true. So let's get into this. First of all, if you like anime, manga reviews, discussion, spoilers, and theories, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, check out our Discord. I'm trying to bring it back to life so we can get more theories. If you want to talk about your opinion as to what's going on in Black Clover, definitely check out the Discord. So issue me with some false copyright strikes on the old channel, so let's get this channel back to 5,000. This chapter was very interesting. In the very beginning of it, you don't really see that in the spoilers. That's the problem when you do like the first reaction to spoilers. You don't get the whole entire chapter. You just get certain bits of information. But this is very interesting. Like I said this in other videos before, that I knew, that had a feeling that the 𝚖𝚙𝚒 family has a history with devil worshipping. I knew that they have some type of possible family lineage that has been doing contracts with devils for a long time, and it looks like it's the case at the very beginning of this chapter, because we get kind of like an insight or somewhat like a flashback in a sense of Lucius back in his wheelchair. And I'd say this before, that there's something weird that Lucius is able to walk again. When we see him here, he's only on a wheelchair, so hopefully that gets explained well. But Lucius is just saying in his youth he was, full of great ambitions, and basically saying that he is the most talented devil host in the history of his family, and he was born with two souls. So a lot of people have been saying that he was actually born the way he is, and he was something similar to what William Vengeance and has. Hopefully that gets explained, how there's like people with one body and two souls. It's kind of one of those secrets in Black Clover that still hasn't been explained well, but we're seeing that more frequently with strong characters. Even though William Vengeance, his magic can be strong. I'm not gonna say he's a strong mage, but definitely is a strong mage. I mean, you can't deny that. And obviously Lucius is a strong character. I mean, we're seeing him use time magic, and he's apparently stronger than Julius, as we figure out later on in the chapter. Maybe there's a reason certain people have two souls, and what happened to that second soul, because it looks like there's the main soul and then there's like secondary soul in a sense. So is there a way that maybe somehow Lucius or Julius, because it seems like Julius is the good soul and Lucius is the main soul, maybe that's what happened with Julius. Maybe some time ago that he died and then he got reborn, or somebody tried to do a ritual for him to get reincarnated, but it caused him to be born in the body of Lucius. So hopefully that gets explained. Lucius is in a cemetery, and it looks like there's 5 different gravestones. There's one that's bigger, and that probably has to do with his family. And he said, following the supreme devil of time, Ostroff, will give me answers to all my questions, which is a sick way to really figure out what's going on. And you see Lucius having a conversation with Julius. He's saying, I seen it, Julius, the future, the true peace of this world. I also foreshadowed that you tried to stop me. How unfortunate that even the ones closest to you cannot even understand you. And then you see basically Lucius putting Julius back in, I guess, his place in a sense, and letting him know that, hey, the main soul of this body is my soul. Lucius is basically seeing everything, and he's saying that I will bring peace upon this earth, which is very reminiscent to what happened with 𝚙𝚒 and William Vengeance. Like, I still think Julius will have his own body, similar to what happened to 𝚙𝚒, those artificial bodies that 𝚙𝚒 is using right now. I definitely see Julius having that so that he can be his own character as well. That's just my opinion, because after all this, I'm pretty sure Julius will still be in the story. But like I said before, I think it's gonna be with what happened to 𝚙𝚒, how he has a body again. Also, another thing that was interesting to me about that as well is that maybe Asta can somewhat go inside the conscious of Julius and Lucius, similar to what he did with 𝚙𝚒. I wonder if that's going to be something that happens. So now the chapter starts where Black Clover 332 left off. Lucius is right in front of Asta, and Noel is asking if that's the Wizard King. And Asta is like, wait, are you the Wizard King? No, that's not you. There's something off with you. And then he asks, who are you? And Lucius does the magic spell that stops everybody in their track. And he does it on a wide scale, so basically everybody in the surrounding area, probably within 100 feet, if not a couple hundred feet, and everybody's frozen in time besides Asta because he has the anti-magic. And it looks like Asta went into his black mode, not his actual Devil Union mode at the very beginning, because I thought he went to his Devil Union mode at first. It's really cool to see that Asta still has that black mode that he has, and you see that he can form actual wings. Before it was only like he can form half a wing, but now he can form both wings without actually being in Devil Union, which is an indicator as to him improving his skills and his partnership with 𝙬𝚑. So it's going to be very interesting the next couple of chapters to see the progress Asta has made working with 𝙬𝚑 in using the anti-magic. Lucius basically says the anti-magic, the power that defies reason, and Asta figures out that everybody around him has frozen in time, and this is the Wizard King's magic, but on a massive scale. Lucius says that he's taken in Lucifero, and Asta's figuring out that yes, I can sense his ki as well. What are you saying exactly? You're Julius, but you're also not Julius. You're human, but also you're not a human. So who are you? What you did to the Wizard King? In Lucius' typical bad guy type of way, he goes, I'm Lucius 𝚖𝚑𝚝, the savior of this world. Lucius is dead, and the Wizard King is dead. And like I said before, I don't see Julius disappearing, but it'll be very interesting to see Julius step down as his role as Wizard King, and also the townspeople figuring out what exactly happened to him, and how would they react knowing what happened to Julius. And then Julius trying to integrate back into the Clover Kingdom. Obviously, he's not going to be the Wizard King by the end of this. It's probably going to be Asta or somebody else. But for sure, Julius is not going to be favored towards the citizens of the Clover Kingdom, knowing that this whole entire time he was Lucius as well. And not only that, Lucius is a devil host from the Spey Kingdom. That's like super infiltration as a spy. They're probably going to still see him as a possible liability to the kingdom. So it's going to be very interesting when all this is like explained to us as a fandom. So Lucius is basically letting us know that Julius was on a mission for the sake of his ideas. There will be no sorrow or hatred, nor discrimination, only true peace. And Asta's like, what are you talking about? You know, this is the same thing that I would say if I was in this situation. Like, what? You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, like, you got some weird guy looking like the person that you have grown fond of telling you that they're trying to do some bad guy plan and destroy the world and make the world a new peace by killing people off. Like, come on. You know, it's that sick, twisted ideals that I love in villains. Hopefully 𝚬𝚘𝚝 continues to make Lucius this awesome villain similar to 𝚬𝚘𝚎. I know a lot of you guys in the comments have been saying that Lucius is this generation of 𝚬𝚬𝚎. Hopefully that's the case, because obviously 𝚬𝚬𝚎 gets a lot of inspiration from Bleach. Lucius is saying he's gonna fix all humanity by destroying them, and then they will be reborn through the magic of his siblings. I will remake them to be happy and all equal. I'm going to ensure nothing goes wrong ever again, and I'll rule them all as the final Wizard King. So I'm guessing maybe Lucius can live for a very long time and not actually die. I don't know, because now he's not human, so technically he might be part devil or is devil, so age is not going to actually kill him off. It has to be somebody else. Asta's like, what are you talking about? And Lucius is explaining that he foresaw everything except one thing. Asta, no life form should be born without magic. You're the flaw of this world. And to create a righteous future, I must remove that flaw. That's kind of weird to me, because you're asking to finish all discrimination, but yet you see Asta as a flaw because he's born without magic. I'm pretty sure Asta is not the only person without magic, but say if there is more people without magic, wouldn't they be discriminated against, and wouldn't that be against your ideals? Like, I understand he is the flaw, but wouldn't you have to execute everybody that does not have magical powers but does not have mana? But then again, he is sick and twisted, so none of his ideals are gonna make sense. But man, that's crazy, because it kind of does go against of him discriminating. But then again, I guess he wants everybody to share the same amount of mana. I don't know, it's kind of weird. And 𝚬𝚘𝚎 I trust. So Asta's saying, I get the future of who you're calling flawed. Basically, you're just some bad guy who's taken over the Wizard King's body, and you want to destroy humanity. The Wizard King risked his life to save us all. That Wizard King that everyone admires, there's no way he would die this easily. So I'm going to stop you and save him. And Lucius is like, I'm actually stronger than Julius. And Asta does anti-magic, and it looks like he does a Devil Union, and he says, right here and now, I'll surpass the Wizard King. And everybody that was in Lucius' time spell is no longer in that spell anymore. You could see them kind of getting back to normal. They're like, what's going on? And it's clear now that, you know, Asta about to fight somebody that looks similar to Julius. And hopefully this doesn't bring back a case of Asta being a liability to the country. Hopefully they don't try to spin it that he tried to attack the Wizard King and try to spin it off as something negative, because clearly Asta's trying to do something good here. And I'm pretty sure Noelle and Mimosa will vouch for him, and letting everybody know that, hey, this isn't the real Wizard King. Asta was fighting somebody that's a threat to the Clover Kingdom. I hope the story doesn't take another route where Asta gets on trial again, because we just passed that. I don't want to get back into that. Asta's already getting discriminated against because he's using devil powers, but on top of that, them trying to spin it that he attacked the Wizard King, it'll just look really bad for him, especially on the day of him being anointed as a senior magic knight. That's basically all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, let me know what you think about this chapter. Let me know what you think about this video. What do you think is going to happen in chapter 334? Do you think Asta might get blamed for him attacking the Wizard King? Or do you think that people are going to realize, oh, this isn't the real Wizard King? What do you think is going to happen when Lucius actually finds out there's more people without magical powers like Asta? Unless, you know, canon-wise, Asta is actually the only person without mana. I remember in the anime there was like an arc showing that there was other people without mana. I wonder what Lucius will do to those people without mana. Will he do the same thing that he's trying to do with Asta? Are they flawless too? The whole being born with one body and two souls, do you think there's a reason behind that? Moving forward with other characters, when do you think the dwarves are going to come in? I don't know how tabata is going to tie these people in, but this is going to be very interesting. If you think Julius has anything to do with like what happened to 𝚙𝚘 and the elves, do you think that somebody trying to reborn Julius? And if somebody was trying to reborn Julius, who do you think Julius was before he died? Do you think Julius will have his own body similar to what happened to 𝚙𝚘? Like if you liked the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.